Let us march on, though. Let us march on. We have, like I said, some contracts to decide here. Got to figure out what we're going to do with the likes of one Elliot Anderson in goal. Especially after 3 pretty damn good seasons. So yeah, Vinny and Kubish are definitely gone after next year. Yeah, with the likes of Beyer, Ashton, Goran in the mix. Hodgson's a 78 at 22. So we got to keep hammering Hodgson. It's pretty much just whether or not we think Elliot Anderson's the guy and if we have the cap space for him. Defensively, Bear Piper is an RFA. Our boy Alan Sigalet's a UFA. We have Fowler as an RFA. Amir Cheng. Andrew Chuck. Playing a video game, have transportation. Top hat, I'd imagine. I can't relate to it, but I would imagine that would be a hell of a time. All right, defensively, not to take a turn there, but all right, Sigalet's got to be signed. On the wing, Wilson, who we drafted last year, Keaton Wilson. The question is, do you rush him to the NHL level? We have a whole lot of RFAs here. Ty Bowdens is an RFA. Bowdens. Rintoul, also an RFA. And then at center, Hedberg, our boy Robert Hedberg. Okay, so I think this is likely to be, is it though, the year where we run all forwards at forward? Maybe not. We're still not quite there. We're still not quite there. I do think we need to prioritize the defense quite a bit. So let's see, really quickly, defensively. It's 1, 2, 3, 4 with Sigalet, 5, 6. And then presumably, Fowler and Cheng are a part of the forward core. So AHL defense is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and potentially 7, 8. Okay, so let's hold on to Khalil Joseph, excuse me. I mean, he was the guy that had the X Factor. He'll be good for AHL chemistry. All right, well, Khalil, you're gone. Holy hell. Guy wants $3.5 million as a 63 overall. What about old Melvin White? He wants 1.2. All right, maybe we let go of some of these AHL options. We are going to qualify Day. What does Datsuk want? 1.2. Sigalet, who has been playing forward. Holy balls. My man, I know you put up a career high 71 points last year, but holy shit. So all that work that we've put into developing Alan Sigalet at forward, it's gone. It's gone because he's out. He's out. I don't know how we keep him. I'm going to try, but I don't know how. So a forward, Christian Hedstrom, 46 points last year. Wants 4.6. Oh, Jackson Belfour only wants 1.9. Pascali wants 2.5. We are going to qualify Summers, of course. Also qualify Reed. Oof. We're going to hold on to all of our RFAs. This is... Man. This just turned into a pretty crazy situation. We have $37 million to work with. And a whole lot to do. Just double checking that we qualified all of our RFAs. So UFA-wise, The big issues. Oh, Elliot Anderson wants $12 million. I don't see how we keep him. He's played so well over the last couple of seasons. The past 3 since he made the jump to the NHL, he has been really, really good. He has a career .924 save percentage in 105 games, but $12 million. The same that Sigalet's looking for. If I can sign them both to 1-year deals worth that amount of money, then cool. That's pretty much my only move. And then hope I can nickel and dime the rest and hope the RFAs aren't that expensive. Now, Sigalet also doesn't want to resign, so you're going to be talking about a 1-year, $13 million deal. We're going to do it. And then we're going to go over to Anderson and offer him a 1-year, $13 million deal. The new Suter Parise. And then we'll see what we can do about the rest of our UFAs, and then God help me with the RFAs. Sigalet resigns. Anderson said no to the 1-year, $13 million deal. Let's go 1 year, $13.25. He says yes to that. So we have $12.3 million with some high value RFAs left. Oh no. So I have to be very careful with these UFAs. Oh my God. Okay, so really quickly. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Ooh. Yeah, I don't know what I can do about like Datsuk, White. I can't really spend money on the likes of Datsuk, on the likes of White, and certainly not Joseph, for the sake of making sure we have a proper amount of defenders in the AHL. So we are going to have to let them go. So Alexander Datsuk was a 2nd-round pick way back in 2023. Just never really stuck. I mean, he does have 246 games at the NHL level, but he spent the past 5 as a member of the Butte Bruisers. But yeah, I don't think I can spend that money on Datsuk. Melvin White, one of our rare enforcers in a series about enforcers, but a 2025 5th-rounder. He managed to get 164 NHL games under his belt. 7 straight seasons spent in the AHL, though. For him, 1 career NHL goal. And then Khalil Joseph, 2026 5th-rounder. Absolutely useless with the exception of no contest, which is great for line chemistry. He got 410 NHL games because of that line chemistry, but alternated between the NHL and the AHL for the past 3 years. And again, he is looking for $3.5 million. There's just no way. We have to prioritize the big money RFAs and the superior UFAs. As Hedstrom, Belfour, Pascale, Koloslov. We are going to sign Blouin to his ELC. So again, Hedstrom, $4 million. I can't do it. For a 79, I can't do it. Not with the RFAs. So we're going to lose a pretty important piece in Christian Hedstrom for our bottom 6. I have no way to keep him for that money with the RFAs that we have. 6th-round pick in 2026. I mean, you look at the player card. He's good. He's good. Like, this is a really unfortunate player to lose. He spent a lot of time in the AHL and finally kind of deserved a crack at the NHL. Did very well. He wants an immediate payday. We can't give it to him. Jackson Belfour, 5th-round pick in 2027. Again, damn good player card. 5-star physical category. Spent 2 seasons at the NHL level. to bookend his time here, but I don't think we can keep him at 1.9. There's Donald Pascale, third rounder in 2027. Good passing and shooting category, very good physical category. 246 career games, 75 points at the NHL level. Kolaslaw, fourth rounder in 2024. He'd be like a fourth liner for us at the NHL level. Nearly has 500 career NHL games with us, though. Last 2 years in the minors. There's Daryl Milroy, third rounder in 2025. Player cards, nothing special. Does have 328 NHL games, though, out of pure necessity. And then the legend, Eli Manning, also wants $1.2 million. Fourth rounder in 2026. His player card's abysmal. No career NHL games. I don't see how we're going to keep them. We're going to sim it down to the last day to see what RFAs take their qualifying offers and to see where the hell that leaves us money-wise. So Guy Blouin signed his ELC. And none of our RFAs have signed in the past couple of days. With $12.2 million in cap space, technically went down after the game reordered. I can't bring back any of these people, which they are all mid in a way, but at the same time, I mean, we're losing 3 of our top 7 forwards by rating. That hurts. Unless I can work something out with these RFAs, but like Hodgson wants 1.2. Piper wants 9 million. Fowler wants 2. Hedberg wants 9.5. Bowden's wants 3. Yeah, we can't. We gotta let these UFAs go. We gotta let them go. What a rough situation we've walked back into here with the Goons. And we just have to hope that a lot of RFAs don't get qualifying offers. We also just lost our head coach, who led us to a very good season last year. I believe it was Duncan, if I'm not mistaken. So let's jack up this offer as far as we can go, pretty much. The old Tugane is in effect. Ask away so we can kill a little bit of time. Because, yeah, we need this guy to come back because I have no idea what the hell our forward core is going to look like, guys. I don't think it's going to be very good at all, in fact. So, yeah. We'll see how we survive this. When does Ovi get goal number 895? It is going to be a couple of years. It is going to be a couple of years. I agree with the 2024-25 idea. Favorite flavor of ice cream? The Boston Celtics have a branded ice cream in the New England region called Full Court Pretz. And I didn't think that pretzel would go well in ice cream. It's S tier. It is absolutely S tier. And at the moment, that is my favorite ice cream. Full Court Pretz. Because it's like full court press. You get it? What happens first? But yeah, it's what is it, like vanilla ice cream, caramel, little pretzel balls, chocolate covered pretzel balls. It's fucking amazing. It's made by Gifford's Ice Cream, damn it. Look at this. Look at that shit. It's delicious. It's goddamn delicious. So yeah, you go to Gifford's, you hit where to buy. That's free publicity right there, and they deserve it. Goddamn delicious. Well, no, salt and sweet works, but pretzel specifically within ice cream, I wasn't sure of. I don't feel like you can judge me for just thinking, second guessing as to whether or not pretzel specifically. It's not a sweet salty combination thing. It's pretzel specifically. You know? Matthew, we are back on the Goon Squad. Salt, sweet, and crunch. That's what I'm saying, Brooksy. In ice cream. And it's the best. Giants win in the Super Bowl. The Maple Leafs make it past. Maple Leafs make it past the first round. The Toronto Maple Leafs will make it out of the first round in 2023. Bank on it. Bank on it. It's happening. All right. Lane Duncan is back as NHL head coach. Inglis is on as well. Beautiful. Psyduck actually my favorite Pokemon now. No, it's Sirfetch'd. And Charizard at the Charizard farm. All right. We wait to see what happens with our RFAs. John, hello, how are you? In terms of big money players, by the way, this is a big free agent class, including Connor Bedard, Mitch Marner. Whew. All right. So this is a weird spot to be in, where we're just kind of stuck waiting to see what will happen with our RFAs. Let's go ahead and sign the youngest. So, Per Ottoson. A lot of competition for you, Per, but we'll look to sign you. Bring in a goalie coach later on. Keep going day by day, and we just wait to see if someone accepts a deal or gets offer sheeted. Ottoson signed. Here we go. Bear Piper accepts the qualifying offer. Lord knows how expensive it was. Wilson Day is back. Walker Russo. Garrett Holloway. DeAndre Dominguez. $1.6 million for Harry Andrechuk, and I don't have the space to match. Kalle Sundqvist signs. We have to look at shedding cap, or I'm boned. Because we still have all of the RFAs and only 1.4 million. People have to go. We have to make a decision between Elliot Anderson and Dmitry Kvasha as the starter. And then, yeah, Bear Piper's qualifying offer was $10 million. Okay, step one. Goalies, we have to make a decision here. Elliot Anderson, again, has a career .924 over the past 3 seasons. Dmitry Kvasha is signed for longer. He has been here for longer. He has a career .910. Lot more games, though. He's been here since 2025. It is 2033. But I think it might be time for Dmitry Kvasha and that $7 million to go. And if I'm wrong, well, then we won't be moving Anderson. We will be moving somebody else. We hit cap hell very, very fast. Dmitry Kvasha, 3rd rounder in 2023. You've been a damn good goalie for us, but we are going to find you a new home. I'm not allowed to get anything back for you. But we are going to find you a proper landing spot for a team that needs a starter. Like the Anaheim Ducks would actually be perfect. They have all the cap space in the world. There we go. We found a home for him very fast. And it'll be a 7th round pick swap next year. And we'll stop the Anaheim Ducks from paying the stupid tax. Goodbye to Dmitry Kvasha. He's off to Anaheim. And we free up a little bit of cap space to try and deal with this RFA mess. And hopefully there's not another casualty in all of this. I am going to match the offer to Harry Andrechuk. Ricardo Reed signs. Ty Bowden signs. Emmerich Hodgson, who will be our new backup goalie, he gets offer sheeted. $1.3 million for 1 year. We're going to match that immediately. John, I should be done in about a month, if that answers your question with roster editing. Amir Cheng has signed. Jamison Fowler has signed. We still have Robert Hedberg to worry about. We have $1.7 million in cap. Oh my Christ. And 5 players left. Hedberg is down to an asking price of $5 million. Someone else is going to have to go. Someone else has to go. Defensively, that 1-year deal for Sigel at $13 million's fucking us. So let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then forwards. 1, 2. Hold on. So 1, 2, presumably 3 with Andrechuk. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Oh my God. Oh my God. We're so boned. We're so boned. This is unbelievable. The amount of forward depth we already lost. But then again, we've kind of been using our defense as our forwards. Robertson is the odd man out at $6 million for an 80 overall. He has regressed. Yeah. Oh, but he's an X factor, which is why he's so useful for chemistry purposes. That makes him worth the $6 million. It really does. Brandon Sutter has abilities. Sigalet at $13 million, I gotta be honest, is probably the guy to go because he doesn't give us a chemistry boost. I know he's an 85. It's 71 points last year, though. But hot damn, are we going to need that chemistry boost for this team to be anywhere near competitive? I can't believe how kind of fast this just fell apart. I mean, this is the only time I've ever debated actually paying a goalie $13 million, and that's because Anderson's been very, very good. If I could go back, I would re-sign all of those forwards and let Anderson go. And just run with 2 kind of meh goalies until the son of a buyer is ready. At the same time, keeping Anderson keeps our cup window open. Up until we get to buyer, and then our cup window stays open. Because we keep the biggest overall players around. But yeah, somebody has to go to make room for Hedberg. Somebody's got to go. I think it's got to be Robertson. Just based off of the money made and the overall. Again, he was a second-round low elite. But he never really developed. The only benefit is that he has the abilities. That's it. But we don't get Hedberg into our lineup otherwise. At $1.7 million. I'm going to wait it out for the moment, but I think Robertson is the guy to go. See if we can get to the start of next season. Have a couple other qualifying offers accepted. Oh, shit. Well, here we are, preseason. $1.1 million in cap. Allegedly. We're going Hodgson and Anderson in goal. Vinny and Kubish in the AHL. And all skaters 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So, can immediately send down 3 dudes. That technically leaves us with $3.9 million in cap. Unless we call up Andrechuk. Drop one of the 72s. Is that Radko? It's Richard Gudis. How dare I make that mistake? So $4.2 million in cap. is what we actually have. I might be able to pull this off without getting rid of anybody else. Major, at least. Hedberg wants 4.5. I was wrong. Rentoul, yeah, someone else has to go. We're not pulling this off until somebody else leaves the team. Shit. Would we rather have Sigalet and his point production ability, or Robertson for half the price with his X factors to try and boost up chemistry? What are we going to prioritize? The chemistry or the production? 71 points for Sigalet last year. I just don't think we can bank on that happening again. I agree that Sigalet's still going to want a shitload of money next year, too. I agree. I just don't. Like, can we survive getting rid of somebody of that caliber, a top 4 player on the team in terms of overall? Prime, hello. How are ya? Welcome to me struggling to make a major decision. Because if we never signed Sigalet, I technically let go of some of those forwards for nothing earlier. Although barely, with some of the asking prices that we still have and that we had then. I feel like it has to be Sigalet because otherwise we're just not going to have the money to pull this off. You could argue Sutter because he doesn't... Honestly, I'd rather get rid of Sutter than Robertson. It's because that X factor is a big difference maker in the chemistry, not that Silvers aren't. Sucks. This sucks, having to start getting rid of some people. Or the easy answer is get rid of Anderson, despite how good he's been. Bayer's already up to a 75. Run Hodgson and Vinny at the NHL level. Bayer, Kubish at the AHL level. Because Anderson's presumably going to be replaced sooner rather than later anyway. I think we have to let go of Elliot Anderson. I can't really afford to get rid of any other skaters. And getting rid of Elliot might really hurt our chances of keeping the cup window open. But we got to do what we got to do. Carolina Hurricanes desperately need a goalie. I am regretting my delayed decision on this, but I think we let go of Elliott. Shed the cap, sign our players. I'm going to retain a little bit of salary to benefit them. Why not? We can retain $1 million on this. That's not a big deal. Let's do it. Let's do it. That's a tough trade to make. Both goalies that we had held on to, we end up moving away from. And whether or not it was the right choice, I don't know. Whether or not it was the right timing on that choice, it doesn't feel like it. But I feel like we just kind of tried our best to avoid the inevitable. Anderson, I think, will haunt me for a long time to come in terms of just how good of a goddamn player he might end up being. He might really come back to haunt us, but Bayer is the man. Bayer is the man. Really quickly, let's sign Toivonen because we need AHL defenders. We are going to sign Keaton Wilson out of the London Knights system because we are going to fucking need him. And that might not be the only guy that we end up signing. But yeah, we have had some casualties on this roster, unfortunately. All right, so what are we going to look like here? NHL's Hodgson and Vinny. Bayer Kubish. And then from here, highest rateds, if we can. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I think we had the proper 12 count. So Hedberg, Rintoul, Summers. Thank God this roster is immediately going to start looking a little bit better. Then Wilson also gets the call up. Send down Theo Barlow, one of the more disappointing options. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 with Reed. Let's see. Harding's 22, medium 9. Landeskog's older. Reed's a little bit younger. We have veterans. Get Barlow in there. Gudis, the medium elite. I don't really think he'll benefit from playing at the NHL level at this point. Let's get Dominguez in there. Try to still keep a good AHL team, give those guys a little bit better ice time. So, we do have to run 3 defenders at forward. We know we're going to move Sigalet over. Andreychuk is terrible, even though he's an offensive defenseman. Robertson has shooting. Chang also should be a defender. Let's do Sigalet for... Let's go with Andreychuk. We'll run Sigalet at forward again. And then Robertson and Cheng. Fowler wouldn't be a good OFD, nor would Sutter. Carlson at least has a great shot. Morrow or Piper. Probably Morrow and Carlson. Let's take Morrow out for Robertson. This might weaken our defense a bit too much. That is the question. And we'll take Carlson out for Cheng. I mean, this should stack up our offense. The question is, does it just make that defense a bit too weak? But looking here, let me go make sure as well that our coach is the man that we're going to want to be our head coach, just in terms of ratings. I mean, again, it was either Inglis or Duncan. I mean, Duncan is almost straight A's across the board. So yeah, Duncan's our guy. Literally 1 A-. He is the best coach we can have. Let's go back to edit lines then. On the first pair. Andreychuk shouldn't be second pair. Fowler can be. Yeah, the lack of golds hurts a little bit. That's the best way to spread the wealth, but 2 plus 5s. Is there a better way to spread the wealth here? I think we'd rather just go 2 plus 5s and have that third pair be a little bit meh. So then for the forwards, Barlow, Landeskog, Dominguez bringing up the rear on the fourth line. I mean, they're essentially just filler options. So that works. We can have, I mean, the likes of Rintoul, Summers, Wilson as the third line. Like our young, promising third line. Boden's is a terrible fit for that top line. Run Carlson, Hedberg, Morrow. And then Bodens, Holt, and Sigalet. As ridiculous of a concept as it is to run your two best defenders, arguably your two best defenders, on your top line, that does make the forward core look just a little bit more manageable. It makes the defense look a little bit weaker, but the +5s help. So we had to take a massive hit in goal. Massive hit. Our defense takes a hit on paper because of the loss at forward. And maybe, again, running Morrow and Carlson at forward's not the right way to go. I'm probably going to try out this version of the team just to see how it goes. And then, yeah, Spencer Beyer gets a year in the AHL to just hopefully dominate. And maybe as soon as next year, he becomes our starter. Defensively, Per Steen. We didn't draft Kavasha either. We do have some scratched players. Wang, Hermes not ours. Kavasha's not ours. Bunch of filler players here for the most part. Sign it. I think Pensic's the only one that we have drafted. Yeah. Really quickly, how many of these guys have we drafted? All of them? No. Nikolai Burmistrov needs to go, as does Kravchenko. Okay, so Kravchenko out for Pensick, which means I need to sign 2 more players for the AHL. Top potentials, there's Riopel, who can come over from Färjestad and hopefully just tear it up. And there was Trotter with the Oil Kings. Winther was also WHL. Dolak. Bring him over. All right. So the AHL. Get Burmistrov out for Dolak. And get Steen out of there. Probably for Riopel, although I don't know if I want him playing defense. Who is our oldest forward? Walker Russo. Congrats. You play defense now. You play defense now. All right. Is there any way make that defense work? I have to check the AHL head coach as well, which I do think is pretty good. Vigilante. A better option. Let's have a lot of A+. Probably go with Lundmark. Maybe. Pump up Lundmark, then I don't have a good PK specialist. We're going to leave it with Vigilante. Do get a sign and goalie coach really quickly. It's a suggestion to allow you to send guys on contract overseas. Bad idea, although it's realistic. No, not at all. That's everything that I've ever wanted this game to be, is to have that ability to have this act like an open world, kind of like FIFA. Like, yeah, I should have the ability to see, like, oh, this fucking rando dude in the SHL killed it. I'm going to sign him to an AHL deal and see if he'll come over. You know, give him a chance to see if he's actually good. Same thing as, like, oh, I don't really have a spot for this young Swede. Let him go back to Färjestad, get the playing time, and then we'll bring him back over in the future, maybe. Like, that is where this game should be going. Is it? Well, I'm not a... Unfortunately. All right, so defensively, Heinrich and Gudis are the 2 most important players, medium elite and a low elite. Part of me feels like they should play at the NHL level. We have had success with that formula, but they'd be on the fourth line and not really all that important. So let's hope that a season leading the way in the AHL will help. And forward-wise, let's see. We'll put a medium 9 above a top 6. We'll put him a medium 9 above a top 6. Low elite, medium bottom 6 for Ham Hughes. Hardigan is a medium 9. Have him head a Dolak. Brule is a low 9, which means he is just never going to get better. Luan, low top 6. So he's down in Pensick territory. Harding's a medium 9. Holloway's a low 9, so he's fucking worthless, but he could take up an AHL roster spot this year. Reed's a low top 6. And Riopel's a low elite. So chemistry-wise, we might have to drop Riopel down a line. But that will be our fourth line confirmed. And not a very good one, but Holloway, Ham, Hughes, Brule. Third line pretty much set. Of Blue M, Pensek, Sundqvist. And we'll have to have some different combination on this line if there even is a winning formula. These particular players not having a minus, which doesn't look like it. -1 might be the best we can aim for. Let's do it. So that'll be the AHL. I don't expect them to be as good as they've been in the past. But yeah, we took, I mean, there is Spencer Beyer. We took him in the first round, but we took a massive, massive hit in terms of this team's talent level. Based off of how much cap space we have right now, $10 million. I feel like I screwed up. I feel like I screwed up pretty badly in the end by still getting rid of those goalies. Not keeping guys like Hedstrom. I mean, he would have been, or not, yeah, Hedstrom would have been like $4 million though, but we could have kept that extra depth. Instead, I tried to keep the goalies and I paid for it, and that honestly could cost us moving forward. So that, I don't think I made the right decision there. I'm kind of kicking myself.